today we have a special guest. His name is Salim. He's from Egypt, and he's really interested about insects, and he knows a lot of stuff. So, how are you today, Salim?
I'm good.
So, what exactly interested you in science?
I'm animals and new species of them. I learn every day about them, and especially if they're new species.
Wow, that's so cool. So now I'm gonna hand it over to him.
Hi, I'm Salim, and my last name's Hossain. I'm really interested about insects and about science.
So what are you going to talk about today?
I'm going to talk about ants today. The ants that I mostly know are the one uncommon ants that are in North America: Carpenter ants, wasp ants, other stingy ants, which are invasive species. And there's, back to where it was, there's two types of species of types of ants. The one is native ant, which is the ant that has been here for more like millions and millions of years. And invasive ants are species that were once native to where they were, but they accidentally were introduced to other places and then spreaded.
Oh,
Or migrations as they did.
okay. You want to talk about some specific type of ant now? Like, what's your favorite type of ant?
The favorite type of ant that I like is the world's largest ants, such as Camponotus gigas, also known as dinomyrmex gigas. And another large ant, which is the bullet ant, famous or infamous for its painful sting that feels like a bullet, where it got its name. Not actually a bullet, but if you see these ants, you can only see them in South America, which is where also the fire ants are, such as there's two species of fire ants: solenopsis geminata, which is the regular one, and solenopsis invicta, which is the imported one. And some species of ants, such as the equiton ant, which is the species of army ant, or African driver ant, or safari ants, which they're mostly called. You can find them in Africa and South America, where they used to be in when Pangea was full. And they're known, and these ants are known to march and attack any animal in their path. And they're called army ants because of how they go in groups, which their trail lasts for more like half the length of a whole street. Which their path, they can go on trees, passing to another tree. They use themselves as living bridges, so they can go on top of their own nestmates and walk to the other side. Also, army ants have tiny eyes. They can't see well, but they can move properly together in a raid, so they can be more aggressive. And they have a tiny odor trail, which follows the other ants from the same colony that make the army ants follow that one. A scout worker ant is the ant that drags its tip of abdomen to the ground, which leaves an odor trail. Like, imagine you're seeing a line of ants going through the path, and you see a meal there. The ants are going there. The first ant that you see going to that is the scout ant. So have you ever seen a queen ant?
A I have. How do you distinguish a queen ant though?
To distinguish a queen ant, you have to check its thorax and head. The head has 3 extra eyes, which are more bigger than the regular ant's 3rd extra eyes, and their thorax is known to be massive. Abdomen, sometimes it can be massive, not all the time. If it isn't massive, but you still see the thorax massive, that's still a queen. The life cycle of a queen starts as a fertilized egg, the same thing with a worker. So any fertilized egg can become a queen if the larvae is fed a lots of nutritious food, which then when it turns into pupae and comes out, the queen ant comes out of the cocoon, and the queen ant at this time is called the owlet, sometimes queen or flying queen ant, because of its wings. Because queen ants start out as wings, and they are larger than the workers and male ants, and about the size of the queen. The drone ants, on the other hand, start as life as unfertilized eggs. So if a queen ant hasn't mated and lays eggs and if a queen ant hasn't mated, it can still live. So if you see a queen ant on the ground with no wings and it's alive, not all the time it has mated. Not all the time. So if you kept an ant colony, sometimes if you start an ant colony and your pupae come out as drones, this is a problem for a queen ant, and because the drones, unlike female ants, which are fertilized, they don't have any chores or works or jobs to do in the colony. So they have tiny heads that make their mandibles super tiny and head. So if you see a queen ant with a small head but a massive thorax, more like 5 times bigger than its head, that's still a queen ant. And if it still has a small thorax, abdomen, and has no wings, it's still a queen ant. But if you end up seeing a drone ant with no wings and it looks like a wasp, because drone ants look like a wasp, that thing is a wingless wasp. Wingless wasps are wasps that look like ants. Also, their other name, which is velvet ant, because sometimes they're reddish. They're commonly known as the panda ant due to their color features, but some species are red, and they're known to be in the part of Vespidae. While they're not guarding the nest, they guard the heart of the nest, which is the queen. The queen is known to be the most powerful ant in the colony, but is vulnerable when it's ovipositing, which is making eggs. And the eggs of worker ants, drone ants, and queens don't have different sizes or color, so they look all the same. Unfertilized eggs look the same, but to tell if it is one, if you wait for more like a few 10 days, like 50 days later, and there's only larvae in cocoon, no ants emerging them, out of them, this means those are slow-growing ants, which are drones. They need lots of nutritious food to become a drone. But if they don't, they would eventually become a deformed armed ant, which would suddenly happen if you find an ant with large thorax and looks like a wasp and it's wingless and it can't sting you. That could be a deformed drone ant that hasn't been fed properly. And types of worker ants, such as the queen ant, is known to be the species of ant, the type of ant that's known to lay eggs and it has the ability to fly if it has wings and hasn't mated or mated already. And if people think queen ants can lay eggs with their wings, you may think they're wrong, right?
Yeah.
But the answer is that they can actually do it. So this means if you find a flying queen ant, it could be mated. So maybe later it's just a late bloomer, or it just hasn't broke off its wings yet. You don't know if it mated. So if you wait for more like 36 days or more, and there's some larvae and a few, not a lot of cocoons, this means those are drones. The first set of worker miners are the nanitics, which are known to help the queen feed the queen and feed the larvae. And this is the end of the question of this ant thing.
Thank you, Salim, for giving a lot of information about ants, and thank you for your time. Bye!
See you soon!
Bye!
Also, you're welcome.